Hey all, I'm Nicole. I recently joined the .NET Foundation as a community manager. I'm excited to get started in the role, and I'm going to bring you the interviews that we're doing for the nominations for the board of directors. Today we have Mattias Karlsson, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Yeah, so hi, my name is Mattias Karlsson. I'm from Gothenburg, Sweden. So it's midnight here now, so I'm way past my bedtime.
We're going to ask all the candidates the same 5 questions. These questions have come from a survey sent out via Slack by the nomination committee. If you have any questions for the candidates, please tweet them to the official .NET Foundation Twitter handle. Okay, let's get started. Yeah. What excites you about the future of the .NET ecosystem?
Well, as a technologist, what excites me actually with .NET 6 and what's coming is that we see unification in some ways, but also it will become more diverse. When unification, I mean the tooling, project formats, and things that and documentation is starting to become the same. But also see that there's a lot more room for innovation when we see things standardized and templates, and when we have the same CLI or things to build against. And I think I really like that. So I think like the diversity of platforms too. Like we will see now for everything from the small microcontroller to WebAssembly to Mac applications and I think that's where the excitement is, because we have partially had that before with things like Mono and things, but have been a small divide in how you do it or how you build it. But now I think we'll see a lot of innovation, because we'll have the same tooling and same and also not like always the same tooling, but also like Japanese Rider will be better IDE, because we'll have like a more common project format. And that's, I think there we'll have more diverse and also like common ground. So we will run everywhere, and that's what we've been promised all along. And I think now we're finally ending up there in a way.
What role do you think the .NET Foundation can play to inspire more confidence in .NET?
Well, in a way, I think the role should be to have continuous conversations with both the individuals, members, companies, but also prospect of those. Like, who can we get to be part of ecosystem that isn't now? And there, I think to be more like listening to what are the current fashions at the competition, but also like what are the current statements from. So I think like to inspire, I think we need to listen and see what are the friction, what people need to be inspired in. I think that's more important to. So I think that's the biggest role. Like see what are the contentions in the community and how can we alleviate that.
So how can the .NET Foundation help open source projects be more successful and gain credibility?
Yeah, as a maintainer, like I think my key focus will like listen to what are the project's pain points in one way, to see how can we reduce friction in projects, what are the issues you're seeing, and also like with people that are adopting open source, like what are their pain points, and also like how can we assist projects with that. So in a way, how can we make projects more like have bigger appeal, or what bigger attraction to that, but also like provide stage to shine light on the existing projects. Like what are the projects in the foundation now, and things like blog posts, tweets, podcasts, streams, and things like that. I think so you can not only adopt but also foster and keep the things you have, because it's not just a sales pitch, but you need to, like, once you have the members in the foundation or projects in the foundation, what happens then? I think there's also something to build confidence around.
What can the .NET Foundation do around education and adoption of .NET?
Well, the biggest area, like, find ways to raise awareness, because I think there's so many that have the old views of .NET or things but also as mentioned before, like listen, take feedback. Like what do people like? first, before you tell them, well, it's not like this anymore. It's not the old .NET. Well, why do they think it's old .NET? Like, where did they get the information? I listen to them, but also see where are the frictions in the community? Can we reduce that? Can we alleviate it in some way? And also see how can we find presence outside the community? Like, what are the events? Where are like, if we want more diversity, where are the people we want to find, or how can we make them more welcome? And but also sometimes, like, don't forget to keep a dialogue with the people that are in the foundation. Like, keep what are their experiences and what, like, yeah. So it's not like it's not a sales pitch and a closed deal and now you're in a foundation and forget you, but yeah, I think the conversation need, and then rinse and repeat in a way, like how can you find new and expand. So I think that's the whole education thing, I think, like, because if we're going to change, people need to hear them out first.
And finally, what are some things you would do right away if you joined the .NET Foundation board?
Well, if I join the board, I will actually, like, my keyword will be to listen, because in the area, I think there's so many people that aren't sure actually what the board does. And so I will actually try to hear out the board first. What are they trying to do, and with what means, and digest that and provide feedback for like what I think they should be doing, but also see, could I adapt my message with the new knowledge I've listened and learned, and essentially repeat that, because I think change will come in small parts. Like, you need continue to, you need to have a constant, you have to change a little each day, better than to have a big change that you can't follow through. So I would love to both listen to the members and the board and previous, like, stakeholders, because I think that's key to see, like, we need to find where the friction is and alleviate that and reduce it.
How can people find you if they have more questions?
So I think the best way will probably be on Twitter, and there I'm DevLead, and I'm DevLead most other places too, on GitHub and LinkedIn and everything. But I think you can find my blog and everything on Twitter, and I'm pretty active on Twitter. So, and my DMs are open, so feel free to shoot a message if there's anything.
Great. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.